Hey everybody, super excited to be here for another Planter Grow Night. This is our live seed starting party, August 9th, 2025, and we're going to go through a lot of the basics for how to start your next bunch of seedlings indoors. So this is part of the indoor food growing training program. I'm going to put that QR code up. It's also available up in the more info there where you can sign up for it. But it's a free growing training program. It's available to you year round. We grow indoors using LED grow lights, a variety of different hydroponics and soil systems. And that allows you to grow more than 75 pounds of food in less space than a coffee table with LED grow lights. Free to sign up right here. That gets you reminders. It gets you discounts on different kinds of products to grow food indoors and lots of other great tips. It also gets you access to a community of people doing this all around the world. So it's tons of fun. Hope you can join us. If you should happen to be in one of our local areas, for example, Washington, D.C. area where I am, you can join a live virtual growing and in-person event. So check out our website where you'll see a calendar of those upcoming events. You can try food live at these events. You can see how these systems work. You can try these things out for yourself. Tons of fun. And we really hope to see you at one of the next events. So now that we're a little bit more than halfway through our present quarterly cycle of indoor food growing with LED grow lights, keep in mind that this happens 4 times per year with greens and herbs and twice per year with dwarf fruiting plants, tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, beans, almost anything you could imagine. You can grow all of this with somewhere between 50 and 100 watt LED grow lights. We do have some on our website that you can get more information about under systems we love. So scan the more info up there and you can actually get access to those. So shifting over to choosing seeds for your next cycle, any seeds are going to be fine for growing. I've got a bunch of seeds that I ordered here. For example, grab one here. Be good. Yeah, so these are basil seeds. I'm gonna zoom in a little so you can see these are super tiny, really, really tiny. It's hard to pick them up with your fingers. I have somewhat large fingers, so planting them can be a challenge. But when you're considering what to grow, a few things to keep in mind as you begin each of these cycles, and these cycles can begin any day you want. If you want to start today, in 30 days, you're going to get your plants up to harvestable size. And then about 3 months later, they're going to start to be old and they'll look something like what you see over in March, over here on the left side of the screen there. So you're going to do 3 of these cycles. You're going to harvest intensively from these plants. You're not just going to chop them off like you would in a grocery store. You want to keep coming back. And if you are planting those fruiting plants, they will last around 6 months. So around 3 months for greens and herbs and around 6 months. All year round, start anytime you want. There is no limitations. We are not waiting for winter to end. We're not waiting for summer to begin. We're not waiting for anything. We do it indoors in a small space, really small space. So you can really choose any kind of seeds that you want. Pick a new kind of seed, pick a new kind of lettuce. Do a quick Google search and find 5 new kinds of lettuces that you've never tried before. You can put those into any soil or hydroponic system and grow right away. Hydroponic systems are going to grow 30% faster than soil, and it gives you really great results. So moving along here, keep in mind that if you're going to grow in soil or hydroponic system, it's 50 watt minimum grow lights for greens and herbs, and about 100 watts, or let's say 100 to 150 watts grow light for your fruiting plants. Fruiting plants need more energy to get up to enough power so that they're able to start producing those flowers and then fruits. So we're going to go through how do you start in soil. Now, soil is pretty common. Most people have probably grown in soil before. What you see on the left side here is actually some of my dwarf tomatoes that I've grown indoors for many years in a row. These are a small size, a determinate size of plant. We're going to be really compact, just going to spit out delicious tomatoes year round for you. So if you've got your seeds, for example, like these seeds right here, you see they're super tiny. So what I recommend is lots of ways to do this, but my fingers are so large, I'll actually wet the tip of a chopstick, any standard chopstick you can get at a store or a restaurant, and then you can just pick up a couple of those seeds and then pop them into your soil. Push them down into the soil in those places. Make sure to plant densely inside of the soil because, especially if you're planting directly into a pot or a cloth bag, will look something like that on the left, you're going to have a lot of space. But these plants have shallow roots, so you don't really need a large container. For example, 3-gallon container is actually big enough, but you do need to have some surface area. So keep that in mind. So you're ideally, depending on where you get your seeds, so I got these from Seeds Now, they're a nice retailer. They tend to have high germination rates. And keep in mind that many of the big box stores we buy seeds from are really low germinating. So instead of planting 1 or 2 seeds per hole, you might want to plant 3 to 5 seeds per hole. Otherwise, there's a chance that none of the seeds will come up. You'll feel like a failure, but in reality, it's not your fault. It's just Mother Nature. The germination rates for seeds is never 100%. Good germination rate is over 60%. So that means that that means that approximately 3 out of 5 of those seeds are going to be good if you plant those 5. You never know which ones. You just plant a couple extra, and it's going to get you great results all the time. So that's planting in soil. Now, because we're doing this year-round indoors, we do have another way of doing it, which is really exciting. That is actually through our hydroponics. There are many different varieties of these kinds of growing. Here's just one of them. These are actually a coconut core pod. It's elongated, so it will work in taller systems like a grow mesh, for example. And it's very simple. It's just almost like a sponge. It's basically going to allow you to put your seed right into the hole in the top of this. And then if you're using a small box system, you can plant, again, make sure you put a couple of those seeds in there. You don't want to get into a situation where you're only putting 1 seed. It's not likely to be effective for you. But once you've got your seeds in there, then if you're using a smaller type of system, you can actually pop it into your basket like this, push it down there a little bit like so. And I've got a small arrow garden just to give you a sense of how it works with an empty slot here. So this one, you just take the plug and then you just pop it into there. That's it. You're done. That's all it's required. There's no weeding, there's no bugs, there's really nothing more than you need to do. In this system here, I've got some really nice lettuce that came out. These are about 40 days old. They're really great. I haven't harvested. There's 2 plants in here. Actually, I need to harvest pretty quickly here. But this system is fairly small. So what you'll notice here is that I've got little blockers over some of the holes because you just can't fit a lot of plants in here. This is a nice little basil plant. I've got 2 more of these covers to make sure the light doesn't reach the nutrients in the system. Very small. This is one that is great for my live demo stuff. So just to reiterate, you're going to take your seed, pop it into that little sponge, and then drop it in here. That's it. It should take you, 10 seconds probably to actually do your planting. And that is how it works for your hydroponic system, which is really great. Super easy, and you get great results, usually 30% faster. Now, if you are, and by the way, I put a link up to the Grow Mesh Garden. That's one of the systems we recommend to start out with. It's actually made in the US, invented by a brilliant guy down in Georgia. So if you want to support probably the only hydroponic system that's actually manufactured domestically in the US, especially at times like these, it's a great option. We have a quick guide in our reference material on the website to get you started if you need help with that. And you can always throw in a message in our chat if you need any additional assistance for it. So a few things that are going to set you up for success. And I want to just jump back in if you are just coming in and wondering what's going on here. We are actually running through one of the weeks of our Planter Grow Nights. It's part of our free indoor food growing training program. It gets you access to a comprehensive seed to end of life for the plants for an indoor food growing system. So you are able to grow more than 75 pounds of greens, herbs, and fruiting plants per year in about the same size space as a coffee table. So let me put that sign up form for you in just a second here. There it is right down there. Free indoor food growing training program. Tips, tricks, discounts on systems to help you get started. We have a community and we do free live courses one time, basically 4 times per month. When you sign up for the training program, you get all of those reminders. You also get reminders to jump into our Planter Grow Nights, where we dive deep into this subject and really empower you to grow tons of organic, better than organic, no spray, no chemicals. It grows right in your home. You can't, I don't think there's a better way of controlling your food supply than to do it yourself in your own home. So if you're just looking for more information, you can scan the QR code up here. If you want to jump straight in and start growing food for yourself or your family, the free indoor food growing training program is right there. So something to keep in mind as you're doing this activity, when you're starting off, and let's say you're growing hydroponic seedlings on the side, so you're going to transplant over into your system later. You can start those 30 days out. You want to have them in a container. It looks something like this. It's you don't have to see that much detail here, but basically the small squares made out of the sponge-like material. Make sure that you're keeping this moist. There should always be kind of like a sponge in there, a little bit of moisture, and so you can mist when it's very small seedling. But later, as they start to get these roots, strong roots, and then these leaves like this, you're going to want to pour in a nutrient solution. So a standard nutrient solution that you might get at a store, anything basically off the shelf, water that down by about a quarter. So you're going to weaken it a bit so it doesn't burn the seedlings, but eventually you're going to get these nice big leaves. This is ready to harvest. This is ready to transplant over into the system over here, or any other system you have. So if you have these seedlings at this stage, you can break apart the cubes, the sponges, and you can actually plant them in your system. It saves you about 30 days. From the moment you plant these into a system, for example, like the Grow Mesh, you're going to be harvesting about a week later. So it saves a ton of time. It's very, very efficient, and you're going to harvest a lot from this. So make sure when they're really small, you keep a little dome over the top of it, keep that moisture in there. They need a high moisture environment. And if you have any questions about this, we do have a monthly indoor food growing seedling course. It's on the first Friday of the month at 7 p.m. All part of our free growing training program. All you have to do is scan that QR code, get more information up there. But these are the things that are really going to get you some success. So you want to have those lights on for about 16 hours a day for those 16 to 18 hours for seedlings, generally speaking. You should expect sprouts within the 7 to 10 days after you planted these seeds. If it's 14 days, so if it's 2 weeks since you planted, especially if you're doing it in rockwool or the coconut coir, those sponges that I demonstrated, your seeds are not valid. They're not going to germinate. You got to start over, add some new seeds in order to get what you need there. So this should set you up for success. If you want to grow for your family, good rule of thumb here is 16 herbs and greens per person per quarter if you want to harvest continuously, and for, let's say, 3 to 5 for a tomato or a cucumber or any of those fruiting plants. Now keep in mind that the dwarf size fruiting plants can grow in half the size of the outdoor systems or outdoor plants. So you're going to get 2 of those dwarf size in approximately the same size space as one of those larger outdoor plants. So it doesn't take a lot of space to the point where you're really getting a lot of fresh greens and fresh food growing inside your home using these LED grow lights. Very energy efficient. I've never noticed any significant uptick in my electrical bill. It's extremely efficient. So I hope you found this to be really helpful. This is part of our indoor food growing training program. Planter Grow Nights happen every Saturday, 8 p.m. We walk you through the whole process. And I just want to reiterate here, we are not advocating only for growing indoors. It just makes sense to start that way. If you've never grown before, start indoors. There's less problems of every imaginable kind. And the great part is you can do it all the time. You get really good at starting seedlings. You get better at crafting and perfecting this craft of growing your own food. Then you can go outside, start with the balcony. Maybe you get a spot in a community garden that's half a mile down the road. But definitely start indoors, because you want to make the mistakes where you can figure out what happened, control all the variables, go back, do it again, and you can do that 4 times per year with herbs and greens. So hope this was helpful for you. We'd really love to see, what did you plant tonight? Did you have something available? Did you join and did you actually grow something? So did you put seeds into either soil, or maybe you had some hydroponic systems laying around that you just hadn't used in a while and you really wanted to? Be sure to share pictures of your seedling trays with hashtag #MyIndoorFoodGarden. We do monitor that, and as we see people that are sharing, we share those on our Planter Grow Night. We want this to be a community-led effort because we can grow indoors year-round. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what hemisphere you're in. It's truly a global thing that we can all do together. And we can all use more food security. We can all use more fresh greens. It's cheaper now than it's ever been, and it's only going to get cheaper moving forward. So really hope that you can start to grow with us, and make sure that you're using hashtag #MyIndoorFoodGarden when you're sharing your pictures or videos online. So if you need supplies, HDG Supplies got everything that we pretty much just mentioned. It's a great resource. You can get your plugs, your nutrients, your seedlings, pretty much everything you need. So go ahead and scan the QR code over there and get some supplies to get started with. If you have any questions, shoot over to Indoor Garden Market and make sure you can pop something in the chat. You can reach us at info@planter.com. No problem. We'll be happy to help you out. Or join one of our free live classes and we can help you in person, virtually, of course. So more information is available at the QR code up there if you'd like. And thanks so much for joining us. This concludes our Planter Grow Nights for August the 9th. Next week, we've got mini garden makeovers. So see what's possible indoors. We're going to introduce some other ideas about how you can grow food indoors, some creative ways of doing that. There's lots of different options out there. It's way more productive than you think. And there's tools, layouts, tricks, all kinds of different stuff, how you organize your space, and some time-saving upgrades that can make your indoor garden life more enjoyable. Keep in mind, this is all indoors. If you want to binge watch your latest favorite series on Netflix or your favorite streaming channel, you can do that and grow all of your greens and vegetables. It can't be any better than a perfect win-win for everybody involved. And there's no spraying, there's no bugs, there's no chemical. It's just great. It's just really great overall. So thanks so much for joining us. That's coming up next Saturday, August 16th at 8 p.m. And I'm going to put our QR code just so we reiterate this. If you are looking to learn how to grow food for your family, you don't have a backyard, you don't have a balcony, you live in a place where there's winter, try indoor food growing. It's going to be an amazing upgrade, and it will be more productive than you can ever imagine. You can grow food year-round, up to 75 pounds of greens, herbs, and fruiting plants all year. 4 times a year, 4 full crops with indoor food growing greens and herbs, and 2 full cycles of tomatoes, cucumbers, all your fruiting plants. Free training program is right there. You just give it a scan, and that is going to guide you through the whole process. You get access to our comprehensive training. You get discounts on systems and ways to learn how to do this. And there's lots of great help as well in our indoor community. So really hope you can join us for next week when we do mini garden makeovers and see what's possible indoors. And also join our free indoor food growing training program. So this is Cliff. It's been fun. I hope you're growing. I hope you'll grow more and try new things that you never thought possible. We'll be there to help you through this process, and we hope to see you